the news, President Muhammadu Buhari says he will retire to his hometown of DAURA away from the EPI-CENTRE after his tenure ends in May. KOGI declares Thursday a public holiday as Buhari visits to commission legacy projects. The head of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis, appealed for an end to senseless war in Ukraine, urging an end to the use of food as a weapon. English top flight, the Premier League returns on Boxing Day after 6 weeks of last action. This is MLC TV News Hour, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Morno Balagubo. Thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari on Sunday said he has only one house in Daura to retire to after his tenure elapses in May 2023. Buhari said this when he hosted a delegation of Abuja residents led by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, MUHAMMADU, at the State House, Abuja. The president also said after leaving office, he will retire to his hometown of Daura, Katsina State, far away from the epicenter of the 2023 political activities. In his address earlier, the FCT Minister, MUHAMMADU, thanked the president for opening his doors to his neighbors for one last time. While noting that the Christmas visit will be the last in the Buhari regime, Bello expressed delight that the meeting held after it was halted for 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He said that it was not surprising to pay such visits because constitutionally, as Governor General of the FCT, he is also the head of the administration of the FCT, but they have graciously delegated that to him. Speaking on behalf of the President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, the CAN Vice President, and the President of the Evangelical Church Winning All, Stephen Panya Baba, said the Christian community is in full support of Buhari's efforts to lead Nigerians out of poverty. Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has felicitated with Christians in Kogi State and around the world on the occasion of the 2022 Christmas celebrations, noting that as the season signifies the coming of hope for mankind, citizens should remain positive and believe that the current distress which has persisted amongst the nations of the world and which is also being felt acutely in Nigeria will soon ease. In a statement issued by his Chief Press Secretary, Onogo Mohammed, the governor urged citizens to emulate God's love for mankind by replicating the same to their neighbors during this season through acts of generosity towards the less privileged citizens. Governor Bello also noted that the holiday was a perfect time for spending quality time with family, friends, and loved ones. In addition to sharing happiness, the governor also urged Nigerians to engage in spiritual reflections and prayers for the peace, unity, and prosperity of our beloved country. Governor Yahaya Bello, who used the opportunity to remind the country how crucial next year's general elections are, urged every registered voter in Kogi State and across Nigeria to make sure they collect their PVCs and vote when the time comes, while insisting that the APC's presidential ticket of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima represents the country's best choice for renewed hope and a nation that works for all. The Kogi State Healthman advised that voting for one's choice is a mandatory civic duty which must be taken seriously. The governor, who said he would not conclude his message without expressing heartfelt gratitude to the Almighty God for his innumerable mercies to Kogi people, the government, and himself. Thereafter, he urged Kogites that just like in previous Yuletides since the advent of its administration, they should enjoy the 2022 Christmas period without fear as top-notch security measures are in place across the state for their safety. The Kogi State government has declared Thursday, 29th December 2022, a public holiday as the state prepares to receive President Muhammadu Buhari for the commissioning of the legacy projects of Governor Yahaya Bello-led administration. A statement issued by the State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo on Sunday urged the people of Kogi State to come out en masse to receive the president and display the hospitality that they are known for. The state government also urged all labor unions and security agencies in Kogi State to ensure full compliance. 25th December every year is set aside to celebrate Christmas, a festival of the birth of Jesus Christ by Christians worldwide. The 2022 celebration of Christmas collided with the usual Sunday service and was marked in various churches in Kogi State. The General Overseer of the Zion Hills Church of All Nations, Bishop Kola Wale Adebisi, and the Senior Pastor of the Foursquare Gospel Church, Reverend Samson Olofunlusi, both in Ajaokuta local government area, enjoined Christians to cultivate the act of showing Christ's love to others at all times. Our reporter Joshua Adinoye has more.
The clergyman said, Jesus is the reason for the season, explaining that the birth of Christ has brought salvation to mankind. General Overseer of the Zion Hills Church of All Nations, with the headquarters at Ajaokuta Steel Company, Bishop Kolawole Adebisi, congratulated Christians on the celebration of this year's Christmas, calling on them to continue to give to others as exemplified by Christ.
Showing love should not be limited to only the season of Christmas. It should be at all time, but it is more when we are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, because even his birth is a gift to the world. The birth of Jesus Christ is a gift to the world, because the universe has been in darkness. The gift of the Son of God brought about light into our time and into our generation. Every generation that follow after the birth of Jesus Christ, they have been able to see and to experience the light.
Similarly, Senior Pastor of the Foursquare Gospel Church in Beacon Estate, Ajaokuta, Reverend Samson Olofilosi, called on Christians to always reflect on the essence of the birth of Christ.
Every Christian should not just stop in giving after this celebration, because today we see many people will eat, many people will dance, they will celebrate, they will be joyous, and everything will just end after today. Maybe waiting for New Year again. When it came, it will end up that we know. It's a continuous process that God has put into our hand, that every day of our life is a day of giving, it's a day of celebration, it's a day of joy, because we have Christ, the living Christ in our life. So I advise everyone that as we celebrate, let the celebration continue. Carry that mentality through 2023 and be a good person and be a good giver and emulate Jesus Christ, because the will of the Father is that we love one another, because Christmas reflects love. Love one another. And that was what he has told us to do. Even in John chapter 13, we continue from verse 34. Say, love you one another. For this, through this I will know that you are my true disciple.
The services featured various song ministrations and preaching of God's word. Joshua Adinoye, reporting for MLC TV.
Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello has been commended for according rare attention to the well-being of the less privileged in the state. The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Orphanage Homes, Sarah Okito, gave the commendation in a chat with Malachite TV in Lokoja. She said the administration of Yaya Bello has been doing its best at ensuring that orphans in registered orphanage homes are catered for, describing the governor as a father to all. Our reporter Joshua Adinoye tells us more.
Since the creation of Kogi State, it is the first time in history that an executive governor in the state is appointing an aide on orphanage homes, a development seen by many as a show of government's readiness at ensuring better life for every member of the society. Sarah Ogido, the first aide to serve as a senior special assistant on orphanage homes, was appointed by Governor Bello on 14th July 2022. After her appointment, she embarked on a tour of orphanage homes across Kogi State, including Ideal Orphanage Primary and Secondary School in Agasa, Akwam, Etahe, Margaret Ohiani, Stagi Cornerstone, Ministry of Mercy, Mom, Rehoboth, among other orphanage homes in the state. The visit, she said, was to interact with orphans and the management on issues affecting them and report to the executive governor for necessary action. Children in the various registered orphanage homes were filled with joy over the visit of the governor's aide, who took out time to interact with them and as well shared gifts to them. Sarah Ogido explained that her major duty is to ensure that orphans are well catered for, describing Governor Bello as one who is committed to seeing orphans achieve their dreams and aspirations in life.
I want to appreciate the name of the Lord God Almighty, the maker of our lives. And I also want to appreciate the governor of Kogi State, our father in the state, the number one citizen of the state. Like last week, one of them called me that they had problem with their borehole. Their borehole was totally and completely broke down. We put heads together. Before you know it, one of the governor's aides, that is Honorable Alhaji Ododo, he quickly came down to our aid, and the old borehole was totally condemned, and he gave us a befitted, wonderful new borehole for these children. And we still plan, by the grace of God, to better the life of these children greater than where they are now, because the governor of Kogi State is highly interested in taking care of these children.
She commended individuals, groups, associations, non-governmental organizations, NGO, among others, that have been extending hands of fellowship to orphans, praying to God to reward their show of love. While assuring that more will be done in 2023, Sarah Ogido also called for partnership from NGOs, appointees, and well-to-do individuals towards alleviating the challenges of orphans in the state.
By the special grace of God, I think the first time I paid them a visit, they were all amazed. And they continued saying one language, that since the creation of the state, this is the first time that the government of Kogi State will ever remember them and give them somebody officially. And to that end, I'm promising you that even before the year runs out, we are going to, in our own little ways, cater for these children. And 2023 is going to be greater than this year for the orphanage homes in Kogi State. I use this privilege to beg all the NGOs in the state to join hands with our good governor, the governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Adoza Bello, to cater for the needs of the less privileged and orphanage homes in Kogi State. Thank you very much.
An orphanage is a residential institution, total institution, or a group of homes devoted to the care of orphans and children who, for various reasons, cannot be cared for by their biological parents or other family members. The parents may be deceased, absent, or abusive. I am Joshua Adenoy, reporting for MLC TV.
The National Pension Commission, PENCOM, says it has approved the increase of monthly pensions for retirees on programmed withdrawal under the Contributory Pension Scheme CPS. The Commission said this in a statement issued recently. According to PENCOM, this is the third edition of pension enhancement under the CPS. PENCOM also said the new increase will take effect in February 2023. However, it urged all eligible retirees to contact their pension fund administrators, PFAS, to complete all required documentation. PENCOM therefore assured all stakeholders of its commitment to the effective regulation, supervision, and administration of pension matters in Nigeria. It was a remarkable moment at the just concluded annual conference and award ceremony which was held at Sheraton Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos. The theme, which was centered on maximizing Nigeria's blue economy through automation, showcases the richness and in-depth of the maritime services as well as the challenges, recent developments and achievements. The National President of Nigeria Licensed Custom Agent, Dr. Kayode Faroto, encouraged the maritime journalists to have a culture of fact-finding before publishing any vital information to the public, as they can be likened as the judges of the people. He said there is a need for more research and fact-finding, as any wrong information can be hazardous to the profession. Amongst the dignitaries was MUHAMMADU Mawa, who was represented by Omolade Fabuyede at the occasion. Other notable dignitaries that graced the occasion also includes Yemisi Oyelola, Sam Ani, Joseph Roro, and Osambele Osichi. Some projects executed and ongoing by the authority were highlighted to include construction and the procurement of vessel and boats, channel management and route enhancement projects, alongside the construction of rehabilitation of offices, jetties and workshop. Among the awardees are Dr. Paul Adaliku, Secretary General of Maritime Organization of West and Central Africa, Mohammed Bello Koko, Chief Dr. George Mogalu Niwa, Emmanuel Jime Iyambi, Comptroller Al-Bashir Hamisu, Chief Henry Ujoku, Babatope Fajimrokun, Prince Adeyinka Bakare, Engineer Dr. Sarat Prema, and Israel Anima, who is the publisher of the journal. Well, I'm going on a short break. We'll be right back. Please to stay with us.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
And glad to have you back with us. Now to stories in politics. The global president of the Yoruba Council Worldwide, National Legal Advisor, Odua People's Worldwide Congress, Are Oba Allah Oladotun Hassan, has declared his support to the APC presidential candidate, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said Tinubu is a promise keeper and a true Democrat with a genuine heart to serve all Nigerians irrespective of ethnicity, religious and political affiliations. Areoba Allah Oladotun described the APC candidate as a man with the magic wand and uncommon vision with superlative experience to manage the affairs of Nigeria as the next president of this great country. Nigeria hence his 80-page vision of a renewed hope 23. He said part of Bola Ahmed Tinubu presidential mandate plans is to deliver security, a robust economy, power, education, health, rule of law, and restructuring that's based on equitable distribution of powers and resources, infrastructure, youth, women inclusiveness in governance, and agricultural revolution. Ares said Tinubu is set out to build bridges and unite Nigeria, and that is what stands him out as the best amongst other presidential candidates of other political parties. He added that Tinubu is a team player and he is coming on board with a brave and bold ideas to give renewed hope for the progress and development to Nigerians. And on to stories on the foreign scene. Pope Francis on Sunday appealed for an end to senseless war in Ukraine in his traditional Christmas message from St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican. The 86-year-old also warned the 10-month-old conflict was aggravating food shortages around the world, urging an end to the use of food as a weapon. The head of the Catholic Church addressed the thousands of faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square, some of them holding Ukrainian flags, before delivering the Urbi et Orbi blessing to the city and the world. He has repeatedly called for peace ever since Russia invaded Ukraine in February, condemning the war but seeking to maintain a delicate dialogue with Moscow. In his address from the central balcony of St. Peter's, he called our Ukrainian brothers and sisters who are experiencing this Christmas in the dark and cold from their homes. He referenced numerous countries in difficulty this Christmas, whether due to conflict or another crisis, from Afghanistan to Yemen, Syria, Myanmar, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Lebanon, and Haiti. For the first time, he also called for reconciliation in Iran, rocked by women-led protests for the past 3 months. The Pope also urged those celebrating Christmas to remember all those who go hungry while huge amounts of food daily go to waste and resources are being spent on weapons. At least 38 deaths have now been linked to a severe Arctic freeze that continues to pummel the United States and Canada. Officials say 34 people died across the United States, with the worst hit area being the city of Buffalo in New York State. 4 fatalities occurred in Canada when a bus rolled over an icy road near the town of Merritt in the western province of British Columbia. The scope of the winter storm has been unprecedented, stretching from Canada as far south as the Rio Grande. Forecasters say the storm will ease off in the next few days, but the advice remains to avoid traveling unless essential. The storm has wreaked havoc for days, but power has been steadily restored after earlier blackouts. Thousands of flights have been cancelled, preventing many people from reaching their families at Christmas. More than 55 million Americans remained on the wind chill alerts on Sunday. 5 top non-governmental organizations, NGOs, have halted work in Afghanistan after women were banned from working for them by the Taliban government. Care International, the Norwegian Refugee Council, NRC, and Save Children said they could not continue work without our female staff. The International Rescue Committee also suspended services, while Islamic Relief said it was stopping most of its work. Afghanistan's ruling Taliban have been steadily repressing women's rights. The latest edict on NGOs came just days after the Taliban banned women from attending university. Abdel Rahman Habib, spokesman for the Taliban's Ministry of Economy, accused female workers at the foreign aid group of breaking dress codes by not wearing hijabs. The Taliban threatened to cancel the license of any organization that did not swiftly comply with the ban. A number of aid groups have since spoken out, demanding that women should be allowed to continue working for them. The leaders of CARE and the NRC and Save the Children said in a joint statement the organizations would not have jointly reached millions of Afghans in need since August 2021 were it not for their female staff. Separately, the International Rescue Committee, IRC, which employs 3,000 women across Afghanistan, said its ability to deliver services relied on female staff at all levels of the organization. And if women could not be employed, they could not deliver those in need. Islamic Relief said it had taken the difficult decision to temporarily suspend non-life-saving activities in Afghanistan, including projects that support impoverished families to earn a living, as well as education and some healthcare projects. Life-saving healthcare, it added, would continue. And now 2 stories in sports. In the latest twist to the protracted start of a new Nigeria Professional Football League season, NPFL, clubs under the umbrella of club owners have distanced themselves from the draw of an unbridged league for the 2022-2023 season scheduled for Wednesday in Abuja by the Interim Management Committee. Arising from their management meeting on December 21st, the IMC in a circular dated 22 of December had informed clubs of the draw schedule ahead of the incoming season. However, chairman of the NPFL club owners, Isaac Danladi, claimed it was not a representation of the agreement during the meeting, adding that 16 members of the club's representatives voted a straight league while 4 voted for an abridged format. He added that the next day they were received circulars that should go for an abridged league, saying that the draw will hold on the 28th of December. They never told them that there will be a draw on that day. What they did was they suggested whether the league could on the 28th of December, but they suggested January 8, 2023. And for them to have suggested that, it meant that they were ready to play. So they are expecting a straight league only to get circus for an abridged league. The chairman of the IMC, Binga Elegbeleye, had maintained that the position of the IMC on the league remained unchanged, saying the body had been given the go-ahead by the NFF to adopt an abridged format. The last we saw of the Premier League was on the 13th of November, Sunday, with Manchester United snatching an injury time winner at Fulham. 6 weeks have passed, during which we have been glued to events in Qatar for the 2022 World Cup. On the 26th December, the English top flight returns. Arsenal, in their first game back, face West Ham at the Emirates Stadium, with second-placed Manchester City not playing until the 28th of December at Leeds. Tottenham gets underway on Monday with an away game at Brentford. Other matches are as follows: Brentford versus Tottenham, Crystal Palace versus Fulham, Everton versus Wolves, Leicester versus Newcastle, Southampton versus Brighton, Aston Villa versus Liverpool, Arsenal versus West Ham, and on Tuesday, Chelsea versus Bournemouth, Manchester United and Nottingham Forest, and on the 28th December, Leeds versus Manchester City. And that is the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at this same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachite TV, and like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, and Twitter at MLC TV 1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, advert, and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. It's Malachite TV, reaching everywhere and informing everyone. I am Mono Balagubu. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Thank you for watching. Compliments of the season.